What it is, though. It's your boy Krook LDBT. What? How did we it? It's sure. And today we got another reaction video. First and foremost, thank you guys for watching, for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video. We are almost at 600 subs. We on the 600 sub grind. I appreciate all love and support. You guys have been going crazy on all my other videos. I just want to thank you. You feel what I'm saying? But today we got something brand new. This is the rise and fall of John Wall. John Wall was the #1 overall pick some years ago. I don't have the exact. I want to say it was 2011. It could be off. I want to say it's 2011 though, or 2010. And he's nowhere to be found right now. He got traded to He got traded to the Rockets, a part of that Russell Westbrook trade. Russell Westbrook is now in LA, and they're still paying John Wall because they're still trying to find a suitable trade partner for him. But this man is owed damn near 50 mil. They're paying him 50 mil to sit on the bench. I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's some people that are smart as I don't know what, bro. Gilbert Arenas got paid 60-something million to play 17 games. John Wall is getting paid damn near 50 mil. Like, bro, the robbery that some of these people be getting away with. I remember Chandler Parsons was getting all of these max deals. But he was always hurt. But somehow, some way, he was getting all these max deals. And I don't understand. Like, it's crazy. But, yeah, so we're going to see what's going on with the rise and fall of John Wall. Because, yo, John Wall was a beast back then, bro. Like, that's crazy. He was a beast. But let's get right into it.
NBA All-Star, who averaged 20 points per game last season. This year, even though he's healthy, the Rockets are paying him $44 million to not play. And Wall's contract is considered the worst in the NBA. In this video, we'll talk about the complicated...
But here's the thing, though. You can't tell me that he wouldn't be an asset to the Rockets right now. All of their guys are young guys. You trying to tell me putting John Wall on the floor, he won't help them flourish? Like, come on. I don't believe that at all. Hold on. Hold on. My camera messed up. Hold on. All right. Yo, you trying to sit up here and tell me that John Wall wouldn't be an asset to Houston right now? All of their players are young players, bro. You got Kevin Porter Jr. You got Christian Wood. You feel what I'm saying? You got, I forgot the other dude name. But you have a young core. Why do y'all think that John Wall won't be an asset to you? Now, I get it. Y'all might actually start winning some games and y'all trying to rebuild. I get it. But y'all paying him $44 million to do what? Just to chill? So while I'm sitting here chilling, feet on the couch, all of that, y'all going to keep signing my checks for $44 million? Hell no. If I'm paying you $44 million, you got to get your ass up out there and help me do something. At least put him on the bench. Something. That's crazy, though.
John Wall, his rise to stardom, the Supermax contract he signed, and the injuries that ruined his career. Crazy J and the rocky road from a criminal to the #1 pick. In 2015, when Wall was named an all-star starter, a reporter asked him what he would do if he weren't playing in the NBA. Deadpan and completely serious, Wall answered that he would be dead or in jail, just like his father. His dad, John Wall Sr., had already spent several years in prison for a second-degree murder before John's birth in 1990.
I remember that one video John Wall was stacking and all that.
3 weeks after John's first birthday,
that man's John Wall with the shits.
And was charged with armed robbery. During his early childhood, John would see his dad only on Sundays for 1 hour when he and his family made their weekly trip to the penitentiary.
Dang.
When John was 9, his father was released early from prison because he had a terminal form of liver cancer. He died a month later when his entire family was on vacation during their first happy moments of real family life. John still keeps the Randy Moss jersey his father wore when he died, and the loss of his dad filled him with anger and rage, and John became a wild child. John grew up in North Carolina, in a neighborhood where drugs, guns, and violence are an everyday occurrence. Without a father and a mother who worked multiple jobs to support her kid, John had a lot of time to do dumb stuff. He constantly got into fights and arguments, and was doing petty crimes. At 13, John started to break car windows, steal cars, and he was kicked out of almost every basketball team he played in due to his temper. Other kids started to call him Crazy J, and he did everything he could to justify his nickname. Wall had bullets fired at him twice, and even fired back on one occasion. As a high school sophomore, his family moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, where John tried out for Broughton High School. Despite an impressive showing on the court, he didn't make the varsity team because of a bad attitude. So he transferred to a nearby Word of God Christian Academy high school. It was his third high school in 3 years, and he was still this foul-mouthed, incorrigible kid who would cuss at teammates and coaches and act out as soon as he got a bad call.
Bro.
His mom did everything she could to knock some sense into him, and she even kicked him out of the house and sent him to a group home for a few weeks. Nothing helped until when she spent her last $200 to buy John new basketball shoes so he could go to an AAU tournament. She even had to shut down the electricity in her apartment to do so.
Dang.
There were no lights for a day or two. That was it. If my mom was going to do that for me, I was going to make sure she was satisfied for life, John said, and started taking basketball seriously.
That's what's up.
When he got a call he didn't like, there was no more cussing and yelling. Instead, he'd just give the ball up and channel his aggressiveness on defense, an attitude that helped him make the NBA All-Defensive Team in 2015. With his newfound discipline, John was ranked 20th best high school player in the country as a junior. He was ranked #1 as a senior, after averaging 20
Kentucky
points,
John
9
Wall,
and 8 rebounds per game.
Listen.
However,
listen. I can't even name all the players that was on that team. All I know, all I can remember, I want to say it was John Wall on that team. It was DeMarcus Cousins on that team. I want to say it was Patrick. It was Patrick Peterson on that team, bro. When he was in Kentucky, bro, yo, oh my god.
Despite his success,
oh my god,
it was hard for him to get rid of old habits. Wall and his
John
friend
Wall
were
was,
charged
yo,
with
he was
breaking
that
and entering
nigga,
an
bro.
abandoned home during his senior year, and Wall escaped prison because it was his first recorded felony. But because he was a speed demon that could dribble the ball from one end of the court in 3.5 seconds and was tough as nails defensively, he could still choose where he wanted to go to college. And because he was a big fan of John Calipari and his Memphis team that went to the NCAA title game with Derrick Rose, Wall joined Coach Cal at Kentucky in 2009. There, he teamed up with DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe.
It was Patrick Patterson. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure if my memory serves me correct. Bro, and y'all remember Sacramento DeMarcus Cousins, bro? Sacramento DeMarcus Cousins? What? Putting up 40 and 15, 40 and 20, 30 and 8. Yo, bro. That Kentucky squad was on fire. Especially Eric Bledsoe. I gotta show Eric Bledsoe, my man. He used to play for Phoenix, you feel me? He did his little thing too, you feel me?
Led UK in scoring and assists, averaging 16 and 6 with 2 steals. And even though they lost in the Elite Eight, John was considered the most talented collegiate player and got selected first overall in the 2010 draft by the Washington Wizards.
I remember that, bro. It was so much hype around Wall.
Becoming an all-star. After winning the Summer League MVP, Wall scored a triple-double within the first 2 weeks in the NBA. And he finished second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Blake Griffin. He averaged 16.3 points and 8.3 assists as a rookie, and almost identical numbers as a sophomore, after he missed the first 33 games of the season with a knee injury. The Wizards were 5-28 during that stretch, and went 24-25 when he returned. In his third season, the Wizards drafted Bradley Beal, but other than him and Wall, their overall roster was mediocre at best, and Washington missed the playoffs again. In his fourth year, after he signed an $80 million extension, Wall kept improving. He averaged career-high 19.3 points and 8.8 assists per game, with 35% shooting from deep, which was the biggest Achilles heel of his early career. He also slowed down his game significantly and was no longer going 100 miles an hour, running into whoever was under the basket. With his newfound poise and an improved jumper, he was selected as an all-star, where he also competed in the slam dunk contest,
I remember that,
which he won.
He hit the day order.
Finally made the playoffs, and Wall led Washington to their first playoff win in 9 years, before they lost to the Pacers in the conference semis. Continued excellence.
And the last year they won was when Paul Pierce was there.
In 2015, Wall was named an all-star starter and was widely regarded as the top 5 point guard in the NBA due to his stellar two-way play. John made the all-defensive team and had 10 assists per game. The first of 3 consecutive years, he averaged double-digit assist numbers. John dished a Wizards playoff record 17 assists in Game 2 of the series sweep of the Raptors, before falling in 6 games during a second-round series against Atlanta, in which he missed 3 games due to a hand injury. In the offseason, Wall had procedures on both of his knees and returned in superb form, averaging 20 and 10 for the year, becoming the franchise leader in assists in the process. However, the Wizards had a .500 record at the end of the season and were 3 wins short of the 8th place and a playoff berth. In 2017, the first season under a new coach, Scott Brooks, John had the best year of his career, posting career highs in scoring, shooting efficiency, assists, and steals. He notched a career-best 52 points against Orlando and 20 assists against Chicago, and finished the season with 23 points, nearly 11 assists, and 2 steals per game, which earned him a nod to the All-NBA third
And all they needed was a
man,
big man,
bro. This was the year that everything was finally going to click for the Wizards.
That's all they needed was a big man, bro.
And playing well throughout the year, especially their 2 main stars, Wall and Beal. Washington finished 4th in the East and avenged the playoff loss to the Hawks from the previous year. In the 6th and deciding game, Wall played probably the best and most complete game of his career, scoring 42 points, providing 8 assists, and 4 steals to close out the series. In the second round, the Wizards played an epic 7-game series against Isaiah Thomas and the Boston Celtics. In Game 6, with Boston leading by 2 in the final seconds, Wall made the biggest shot of his career, a game-winning 3 that forced Game 7. Unfortunately for Wall and the Wizards, he didn't play up to par in Game 7, and the Celtics won the game. Nevertheless, it was clear that John had raised his level of play at the age of 26, and everybody thought his best years were ahead of him, with many more All-Star and All-NBA selections. A year before his current max deal was about to expire, the Wizards offered John a supermax, and Wall happily autographed a 4-year, $170 million contract extension.
Why not?
Injuries, and the worst contract in the NBA. Wall had persistent knee problems throughout the 2018 season, but he was still averaging close to 20 points and 10 assists in 41 regular season games, and made the All-Star team. The Wizards sneaked into the playoffs as the 8th seed, but they expectedly lost in their first round to the first-seeded Raptors in 6 games, despite a formidable showing from Wall. In 2019, John started the year well, averaging 20 points and 9 assists, but after a recurring pain in his left heel, he decided to have surgery and missed the rest of the season. However, that's when the real problems started. Wall first developed an infection from that surgery, and then suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon when he slipped in his home. He missed the rest of the season as expected, but with surgery complications and the Achilles injury, he didn't play a single game in the following year as well, which was the first year of his Supermax. Wall later revealed that the infection was so bad that at that point, there was a chance his foot might get amputated. But he did recover, and he looked good during the workouts prior to the 2020-2021 season. And then, the Wizards front office decided to cash in on his all-star resume, and they traded him for Russell Westbrook, who had a falling out with the Rockets. In Houston, Wall got to the team that was going through James Harden drama and his request to be traded, which did ultimately happen, and the Rockets were destined for the lottery. John averaged 20 points and 7 assists in 40 games, proving that there is still juice left in the tank and that he can play at a high level. However, he did lose some of his athleticism and speed. His defense wasn't as good as before, and he was never a good shooter to make up for the loss in physical ability. With a $44 million salary this season and a $47 million player option for next year, his contract is currently untradeable. And because the Rockets are now all about developing young talent and tanking to acquire more young talent, they said thanks, but no thanks. John was shelved for the season, meaning that the Rockets are paying him $44 million and would rather have him sit at home than let him play for the team.
Bro.
Legacy.
I'm just saying, bro, you're paying this man $44 million to not do nothing. Let him do something. Make him work for that money, bro. Like, I get it, y'all trying to rebuild. But damn, bro. Like, bro, if you put John Wall on that team, bro, y'all still gonna lose. Y'all still gonna lose. Like, come on. Let that man play, bro.
When John Wall signed that Supermax deal in the summer of 2017, many argued that it's too much to spend on a below-average shooter with glimpses of superstar talent. But he is not a top 10 or top 15 player in the NBA. The Supermax was designed to make it easier for small market teams to retain their best players. But so far,
by the way, that does not work at all. The fact that y'all created a Supermax to see if all your star players would stay, none of them stayed, bro. Kevin Durant didn't stay. LeBron James didn't stay. Of course, John Wall didn't stay. Bradley Beal was looking like he might be on his way out, depending on what the Wizards want to do. Look, Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons, like this Supermax shit did not work. The only person who I can definitively say right now when it comes to my head that actually stayed is Giannis, and he's happy with it. Everyone else, they got the max, but they don't want to stay there, bro. So, by the way, that didn't work at all. Sorry. And Rudy Gobert too.
Inefficient. Primarily, it eats a massive percentage of the cap space that only a handful of the biggest stars actually deserve. Teams are thus pushed into a very ungrateful position in which they have to overcommit to their franchise players like John Wall. Or they have to tell him, hey, we know you've been loyal to us and are a 5-time All-Star, but you're not really worth that money.
Exactly, bro.
It's not that Wall is a terrible player.
Loyalty, man. Loyalty.
His speed and transition.
Ain't no loyalty in the league.
To create pressure on the defense with his first step and his unselfishness made him a constant threat on offense. And defensively, he was always among the best players at his position. If we look at his peak years, his production and efficiency are very similar to pre-injury Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook, players he shares many similarities with. While many people will say that his contract is the worst contract of this century, that's really unfair and simply not true. Wall's extension is not even the worst in Wizards history. If we look at how much money Washington gave to Gilbert Arenas a season before his knees gave out and his guns went wild. Numerous injuries and bad management influence the fact that his Wizards have been a mediocre team for years.
Yeah.
If Wall remained healthy after 2017, we would probably be talking about a first-ballot Hall of Famer based on his stats and All-Star appearances. Wall's career averages of 19 points and 9 assists are the same numbers Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas averaged for his career. And even though he's making $44 million a year for doing absolutely nothing, John's career still isn't over, and I'm sure he'll make a positive impact for a contender once he reaches a buyout with the Rockets.
That's crazy, bro. Bro, I hope John Wall finds a team, bro, because I just don't agree with that. Like, me personally, I don't agree. I get the tanking, but, yo, if I'm paying you that much money, bro, you want to do something, bro. You want to work for your money, bro. But I hope he signs up with a team because I forgot he could buy out of his contract. I don't know if he would because that's 40-something million, so I don't know if he will buy out his contract. But at the end of the day, you're a competitor. You want to compete. You feel what I'm saying? So he might do a buyout just because he wants to go to a contender and actually contribute towards getting a championship. So I get it either way, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I'll play both sides. I would get the bread, but I also would want to, compete for a championship. So I get it, man. Thank you guys for watching, for tuning in, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I love you guys. Peace.